to another episode of GAWTV. All you gorgeous people. Hey, don't forget to like when you have a question, hashtag GAWTV, right, guys? Hashtag Mickie, hashtag. Hey, hashtag. And don't forget to click that subscribe button. Very important. And then you can enable notifications. Click that bell, and don't forget to like. We really appreciate it. Always make a comment below so how we can make our show better. But don't forget to hashtag the GAWTV.
That's right. We're very interactive here at GAWTV. And speaking of being interactive, we want to give a shout out to all of our patrons of patreon.com/GAWTV. And every single week, all of our patrons are welcome to join us on the after party. So this show's great, but guess what? The party goes on to Patreon at the top of the hour, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're all going to be there, and we invite all of our patrons to join us on Zoom for the official after party.
Oh, it's one of my favorite parts of the after party. That's like my newest favorite thing. But I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to our gorgeous tier on our Patreon. Now you can go in through there. There's so many amazing tiers on whatever level that you want to support us here at GAWTV. But as always, top tier shout outs for our gorgeous members who are getting, yes, the TNA Impact banners shot by none other than Miss Christy Hemme herself.
Yes.
The Moulin Rouge, if you will. Well, I should say Lee South actually shot it, right? It was just her inspirato.
Her vision.
Yes.
Vision. Yes. Love
There's Mickie, and here's Val is. Here's me, and Val is. I can't see. It's so bright. The future's so. Wait, where's Val?
She's wrinkled.
I got me. It's on the other side.
Other side.
Boom.
There she is. Whoop, there she is. Whoop, there she is.
Let's hope I look semi the same. That was a friggin' while ago, y'all.
So funny.
Good old filters. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
But don't forget, not only on YouTube, you can listen to our podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. GAWcast.
That's
and
right.
Thank you to Ella J for transferring all of our show to GAWcast podcast form, and you get the full episode, and you get the full episode on YouTube, our whole video on our Patreons. And they usually get it a day before. Am I correct on that, you guys?
That's right.
That's right.
Another bonus of Patreon is you get the full episode. This is about a half hour. You get the full, usually about an hour-long version, unfiltered, of this show, which is a bonus. Plus, you get the episodes a day before the public gets to see it. A little sneak peek. Sneak
peek, if you will. We love a good sneak peek.
We do, a little social peek. We love a social peek, but ladies, we have no time for that because we are wearing our finery. I don't know why I stopped about here. That's weird. Okay, finery. For a very special guest. As Mickie is illustrating here, we are celebrating the wonderful month of Pride all month long with our favorite LGBTQ plus alumni. And this guest is someone that I kept teasing on social media because I personally am a huge fan. And I had no idea that this gorgeous queen actually knew wrestling. Thanks to DS Shin for the introduction. Our guest today, can I compose myself? Do I look okay? Like, our guest today is Drag Race Season 9 alumni and one of the most glamorous queens to enter the workroom. She's a YouTube sensation. She's a wig aficionado. And ladies and gentlemen, she is an international sex symbol, Jaymes Mansfield. Welcome to GAWTV.
Yes.
My gosh. She's a rock.
Oh, hello. Oh my God, you look amazing.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't feel worthy. I do not.
I don't either.
We were all going, do we look okay? Like, are we, we get all nervous. We know you're going to be so gorgeous.
I was the one that was nervous. I saw it was like a bedroom, like sleepover theme, and all I had was an apron.
Perfect.
I threw everything out.
Perfect.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, we're so honored to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're so excited. We've been fangirling. It's just amazing to have you here. So thank you so much.
The feeling is mutual. Oh my gosh. All three of you gals. We go way back. You don't know it yet, but get ready because I'm going to be asking y'all some questions too.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Well, one of our favorite things, like we really like to kick off the show with, I don't know if you know, is who are you wearing and what are you drinking? So you, the star, my dear, we would love for you to go first.
Sure. I'm wearing the dress underneath is by moi. I made it. The apron I bought off Etsy. I don't remember the girl's name, but I think she's like some little religious woman in like Kentucky. So she probably don't want to know that I'm wearing it, but I'm wearing it.
Cheers to her.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
What do I have for a drink? I have Malibu Caribbean rum mixed with Mango Monster.
Oh,
She came to play.
Oh, that looks that. Oh my God.
She came to play. Lisa,
We need to name that drink after you. I'll be honest with you.
Ooh.
Right?
The Mad Mansfield or Manic Mansfield. There it is.
Done.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. Oh my God. And I can I go next? Because I think we're kind of matching here. Honestly, look at the leopard because I'm a cougar. Arr, arr.
leopard foams.
Leopard, excuse me, leopard. Yes. But I got these glasses. These are Betsy Johnson's. I get a lot of compliments on those. So I broke mine in Orlando at the WrestleCon. And so I ordered a whole bunch off of all the websites. So expensive. I got these, the original ones at Ross for $7. I ordered them for $45.
They're so cute.
But I'm wearing this. You know, I like the high turtlenecks because it hides the turkey neck. And I'm wearing these earrings, you guys. They're rhinos. And I did a bowling alley celebrity tournament, and Rhino was there, and it was to help the rhinos, like for the extinction. And so, yeah, isn't that cute? And I bought it because every time I see Rhino, now I wear my Rhino earrings. Yeah. Oh, and I'm drinking just wine. How do I pronounce that?
Oh, that's Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola's wine. Wow.
Costco.
Really?
Costco. Yeah.
You must be struggling a bit.
No glass, Lisa? Just the bottle?
It's double fisting. It's double fisting. Put on my nose.
Oopsie.
Classy.
Mickie,
I'm
you
a
go
classy
next.
broad.
I don't know. You guys are so glamorous. I'm wearing this. It's like K.Jen, my stylist, Joaquin Arisa's Fashions. He sent this to me. It's a whole pantsuit. I think I've worn it. It's a bit. I'm vertically challenged. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, so everything is too long on me. But it's super cute. It's super sheer. Where did I wear this?
Cute.
In Miami.
Yes, we did it. You wore it in Miami.
California. That's where I wore it. I think California, LA. Yeah. Oh, and I'm drinking a little.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Tito's, and a Fresca, if you will. That's what I got.
Oh.
Fresca. We love Fresca here.
You're on the kick of the Fresca.
I too have a little cocktail. It is a very melted because in England, it's not a lot of air conditioning. So I'm dying over here trying to look glam, do my best. Little vodka soda with some little squash, which is like Crystal Light. I believe this is the berry sangria flavor. I'm rocking some Nasty Gal. I thought of you, James. Obviously, you'll know I'm a huge fan. I thought, okay, so old Hollywood, like I need to wear something from the era, kind of in that vein. And I've got little matching pearl slides, which are very on trend right now for those taking score at home.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I love that top too.
I do too. And I actually put extra contour since we had Visage Wrestler, about all the contour. You can't even tell. I put so much on. I went to the bank and they're like, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, I put extra makeup on because I don't do it right. We need a tutorial from you too.
Yes.
Your contour
Dia
looks
Shin.
great, though. The shadows are working. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, yay. Yay, I'm learning, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're a big fan of wrestling. And what made you get the passion to go into drag? Like you had a great career. What made you, and what age? I'm curious what age you started.
Well, when I started doing drag, I have to say it probably was about like 22. It's very, very late, but like a lot of things I obsess over stuff, and drag just happened to become one of those things in my teen years. I just started obsessing over it. I want to learn everything about it, from the history and everything. Women's wrestling was the same thing for me. That was my first obsession before drag. I was learning all about Moolah and all like the great women's wrestlers that came before, like Mildred Burke and all those real old names. And I was obsessed with what they called the golden era, which was Lisa, Mickie, Trish, Jazz, all those great girls that were like putting on like 2 to 3 minute matches, but just making it so explosive and so action packed. I was obsessed. I was in it from the get-go. And like Greg just happened to come along after, you know, that era, a lot of you girls left. And I was just like, well, I think I'm going to move on to something else because I was a teenager. So that just kind of happens. Your interest changes, but I've come back to it now.
Yeah.
You look beautiful. Oh my God. Gorgeous.
I know. I can't stop staring. I mean,
Honey, I can't either. I can't either. That's why I'm like, do I have a, can I
Good
just,
Lord.
can I just stare at you all night long? Because we have questions to ask, but we're like, you're so beautiful. You're beautiful.
I have questions too, so let's get
Yay.
ready.
Well, it's real for me because being a kid who just loved wrestling too, and then I got to be in it in my own ways, and then loving drag for so many years, like it's just so cool to hear that you like it as well. So it's my two worlds colliding, which is very cool. But my question is, so obviously I'm a huge fan, but your season, which is season 9, was in my opinion, no tea, no shade, the strongest season ever with, in my opinion, the strongest queens, such as Sasha Velour, Shea Coulee, Trinity the Tuck, Valentina, Peppermint. To me, it's truly like a who's who of drag. So how much has Drag Race impacted your career thus far?
It changed my life, honestly. Like you girls could attest to this, being signed to like huge wrestling promotions. Like the second you go from like an independent circuit to doing a big major thing, your life changes.
Yeah.
Like your booking fee changes, everything changes. And for me, I was very, very new. Like I was a baby queen when I got on. So I had to learn on the job. Like I got sent home first, but immediately like you have to figure out how to do things as they come to you. Like they say, can you do a one-woman show? Sure. Yeah, I can do that. You just make it happen.
Right.
Right.
That's pretty.
Oh my God.
It's a blast. Like it changed my life, honestly. Like I cannot be bitter about anything. I'm so happy with what I've been given.
Yeah.
Opportunity. You have to take opportunity. Yeah.
And I think that you've taken that opportunity and you've like just continued to inspire and do all different kinds of things to really help the community. I just think it's amazing. I obviously, as a musician, am a huge Lady Gaga fan, and I know that she was the first celebrity judge, right, in your space. And so I go like, I just love her so much. And then obviously Marilyn Monroe is my permanent icon as far as women and empowerment and all these things. And obviously Jaymes Mansfield for you, but who are like some other people who like truly inspired you along the way, you think?
Along the way, well, I hate to be a nerd, but I always loved women's wrestlers. Like that was like my goddesses before I like got really, really older and gay and it, like started exploring, you know, old movies and stuff like that. Like I worshiped at the altars of Trish Stratus, Victoria, Jazz, like these strong, powerful girls who were telling these amazing stories. And like from that, that's like just obsessing over, you wanted to consume everything. So I started watching like, okay. So women's wrestling back when I was watching it was rough. You had to dive through some dark stuff in order to find the wrestling, but if you knew where to look, you could find it. Mm-hmm. I had to watch like WEW and things like that just to like see small crumbs of wrestling.
I can't believe you're such a fan. I mean, DS, thank you, DS, but like said that you were a wrestling fan, and then I've heard that you've managed someone.
Yeah,
what's his name?
DJ Summers. DJ Summers, in Chicago. And you actually, you took bumps too?
I took a bump on my butt, yeah.
What? That moneymaker?
Oh, that's amazing.
Bump where you're the most padded.
Exactly, right?
Good advice. Right? It's good advice. No, the fact that you compared, and it was actually very poignant, that you compared the independent circuit to then getting into a big company like Drag Race, because you do smaller shows, and then you go to what we sometimes call the dance, and it's this big deal and it changes your life. That's amazing.
And it's like, I'm so impressed about like you knowing about, like, did you watch Lipstick and Dynamite?
Yes.
Because you mentioned all these old timers and I'm like, she must have watched Lipstick and Dynamite. Like, it's like, that's where the history started.
Not only that, I watched the shoot interviews with the wrestlers that were in it talking about doing the documentary. I was that big of a nerd.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
Nerds rule.
Waldeck and everyone talking about the experience.
Yeah. We all are nerds, especially in the wrestling business, I think. Especially
I think
nerds
so too.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Yeah. I'm a self-proclaimed geek. But what is this Twitter war about with Lacey Evans? What happened with that?
Spill
I'm
the
so
tea, Kate.
dying to know. Dying.
She is such a dweeb. My gosh. She got her feelings hurt because I gave a suggestion that maybe you should be doing the vintage thing, do a roller set to your hair. That's all I said. And she just bit my head off over it.
She's sad.
I wasn't trying to like shoot on her or anything, but when you test a fire, it just comes back at you, and she couldn't take the heat.
I don't think
Yeah.
she could. And let me tell you, I'm going to say this in the nicest, I'm trying to think of my mom's voice. If you can't see anything nice, don't see anything at all. But this is GAWTV where we, spill the tea. I think the issue is, first of all, not everyone has manners. So be nice on Twitter. What the hell? Secondly, I think when someone like not nearly as polished as you, but I love vintage. I love old Hollywood. I really respect how much time it takes and how polished and the history you have to know. So I'm sorry, but when someone does a half-assed job, you need to be clocked just a little bit.
Yeah. And we're on social media.
And it's not a personal thing. I'm sure, James, you agree. It's just like, hey, girl, if you're going to do this, do it right. Right?
And you know this, Val, you don't mix eras. Don't mix 30s with 50s. It doesn't work that way.
James, listen to James. It does not work that way, nor should it.
Should it.
By any
Yeah.
means.
And social media, if you can't take the heat, freaking get off social media, because the fans are gonna let you know everything you do wrong or what their opinion is. And you gotta have a thick skin, So my goodness.
For sure.
I'm shocked.
I really enjoyed Lacey though. Like we talked a little bit after the fact. Like I knew she was fully just in on it, but we were going back and forth as long as she would let it. And she even tried to pitch it to TV, and it didn't happen. But could you imagine?
Oh, that's cool.
That would have been awesome.
I will be honest, I really have a lot of time for Lacey too. Like she's so sassy, and I think a lot of people don't know how to take her. You know what I mean? Like, but I got a lot of time for her. I mean, I get her. She's a mom. She's badass, and I like and I love that vintage pinup kind of the whole thing. But yeah, I'm not mad at you about the rollers. Who doesn't love a good set of rollers?
Right?
Lacey, I know you had some questions for us. So before we get
Yeah.
here.
As we all take a sip, little courage sip.
Well, let's do a cheers. Let's do a cheers. Welcome to our
Yes.
show.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
lady.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's incredible to have you.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're honored. Very honored. You're right.
Babe alert.
Yeah, babe.
Babe alert. Yeah, we were thrilled that you would agree. Because the thing is, I'm such a Drag Race fan, and we were thinking, okay, so who do we know that we could, celebrate Pride Month with? And then Dia Shin was like, I know Jaymes Mansfield. We're like, what? And then when I heard, I had no idea you're a wrestling fan, and now it's so cool to talk to you and realize that it's not just like, oh, she knows a few wrestlers. Like, you seriously are in on it, and you have studied it, and you still enjoy it. What are you watching these days, by the way, as far as wrestling? Like, what are you enjoying?
Let's see, as far as women's wrestling goes, or wrestling in general, I was watching NXT for a spell. I really, really tried to watch AEW, but as far as it goes, I watch NXT, I watch a lot of WWE, and a few indie wrestling shows here and there. Like I try and pop in the Shimmer whenever I get a chance to. It's just, I'm never around when it's on.
Yeah.
I know.
Like for me, it's like there's so much wrestling now, just like for drag queens, there's so much drag race things now. Like I can't keep up with anything.
I know.
Speaking of women's wrestling, I don't know if you know, but there's an all-female pay-per-view coming, and I would love, love, love. You are cordially invited. I will roll out the red carpet, whatever, I would love for you to come. It's going to be in St. Louis on August 28th.
Okay,
I'll send you the deets.
I feel like if James is comfortable anywhere, it would be on a red carpet. I'm picturing you with your first stole and all of that. Yeah. I have to ask quickly, you just mentioned that you made the dress that you're wearing, and I know that you deal a lot, like on your YouTube channel, you deal a lot with wigs and makeovers, things like that. How much of what makes Jaymes is you, or wigs and makeup and clothes, is that all you?
For the most part, yes, because I'm not rich, so I have to make everything. So I had to teach myself how to do everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like it adds a little bit more of a flair when you've had a personal touch to it.
Yeah.
It just sort of resonates more with people, I feel, at least.
Yeah. No, I love that so much. And I appreciate that coming from the thing of like grassroots and having to do it yourself and going with the resources, because when I first started in wrestling, same, like I just kind of made my own stuff. It started with workout gear that kind of looked like wrestling gear that I, sports bra, sports short, that then turned and morphed as I made more money and could afford it, better gear or decent gear that was kind of nowhere near by the time you get to the gear that you're wearing on television. You're like, oh, this is night and day from, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that the ability to be able to sew your own, I wish I could.
Me
My
too.
abilities are not, like, I can hem maybe on a good day.
I can tape it with a double stick tape. That's all. I was getting my clothes from stripper stores, because I couldn't afford it either. Yeah. So I was like going, oh, okay, that looks hot. Is it going to rise up if I take a bump? Like, you have to glue yourself in with remember the top stick that we used to for toupees? I used to put that on my thing, on my boobs, so it would stick on my boobs. Oh God.
Remember the scars, because you would get where the tape would come off and you would have the
self tanner. Yeah. And the self tanner, you would self tan, so it would peel off the 2 layers of skin.
Y'all are so glamorous.
I know.
Side.
We're bitches on a budget. Bitches on a budget.
Not to clock you or anyone, Victoria, but I remember very much so when I was shopping for drag outfits, I saw that cover up that Candace was wearing, that the white, like that witch robe at a stripper store in Milwaukee.
You did? And she's from Milwaukee.
Oh my God.
She's from Milwaukee. I'm sure she got it there. Oh my God.
I live for a stripper store, and I live for a stripper heel. Like, it's funny because now everyone's coming out with these lucite heels. I'm like, girl, that's a stripper heel. Like, let's just call it what it is. It might be lower nowadays, but like they're very on trend and it's clear. And it's like, well, yeah, it's a stripper heel. They're just back in style.
They match everything. Clear heels match everything.
I know. Yeah. Can I ask a controversial question that I can't wait to hear the answer to? So we're talking about gear and your fabulous aesthetic as Jaymes Mansfield. Do you have a best and worst dress list of professional wrestling ladies?
Ooh. Easy. Okay, so best dress. Currently, the best dressed wrestler in the WWE, as far as aesthetics and knowing what their look they're going for is, would be Bianca Belair. I also like she makes everything, stones everything.
I was going to add that she makes all of her own stuff.
She does?
Yes. Yeah. I know.
Let's see, worst dressed. I would say the worst dressed wrestler. Oh, that's a toughie, but probably, this is a controversial answer. I might lose some fans here, but I really don't care for the way. I don't care for Nia Jax's outfits, like the side balconies she puts on her.
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
She always has hip balconies attached to her bodysuits. I don't understand them.
Yeah. Where you going, girl? Where you flying to?
You know who I love? You know who I love is Sasha Banks, because she's married to a seamstress. A seamster, and he sews all of her gear, and I'm like, oh my God, her gear! Look at all the crystals she has. She must have paid a fortune. Evidently, she didn't have to. She's married to the guy that makes the outfits.
She puts
unbelievable.
By the cow.
Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania. She put little Louis Vuitton logos, and she is somebody who obviously puts little touches in there that's interesting. Yeah, and then going back as far as like non-current wrestlers, is there someone's outfits that you loved, like from before, back in the day?
I always really, really liked the way that, okay, it's gonna sound like such a marky thing to say, but I really like the old Mickie James outfits where you wore like the mini skirts and like the Ugg boots and stuff.
Yes. Just throwing it together.
With like a girl from middle school that went insane.
A girl from middle school that went insane.
We all sat next to that girl in class that wore like the little camis with the skirts and everything.
Yeah, she's just the million of those belts that were in vogue at the time.
Oh yeah, they're like clip belts.
And 10,000 bangles. And I'm like, it's amazing that I worked so hard to get to this. And I had wrestling boots and wrestling gear and all this stuff to get there. And then I get there to play this character and I'm in freaking Charlotte Russe skirts or
Charlotte. Before you got in a fight at the sale rack at Charlotte Russe, shoved you into it.
Oh my God. I remember when you came to, as I play with my makeup brush, I remember when you came to Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling will always be TNA to me, Mickie, that I was like, first of all, I was like, wow, I didn't know you had a Southern accent. I don't know why I never noticed it in WWE. And I was like, did she always have a Southern accent? Holy moly. And then I remember thinking, oh my God, she's like, you actually, your aesthetic, I never knew if it was a character, if it was a you, but then I was really appreciative that like you, even in, you know, off camera and stuff, you love like the Native American stuff, the kind of Western vibes. And like you always, you know your style and you know your lane and it's very signature you. And I wasn't sure if that was a character, but I was thinking, that's pretty cool. That's who she is.
Well, I'll tell you with a Southern accent is that I was told in OVW to lose my Southern accent, that it made me sound ignorant.
No.
What?
Work on that and get rid of it because people don't like, it doesn't sound
In
educated.
OVW of all places?
Well, it was more because I'm, you know, obviously I'm in OVW, but I'm signed as a developmental talent. I'm trying to get to television. So I'm pitching ideas and stuff like that. And one of my hindrances, one of my blockages at that point was my Southern accent. So I literally had to like learn how to speak without my accent. I had to stop with the little, and it still would come out every now and then, but I learned to speak without it, like, right. So when I'm comfortable and when I'm whatever, it'll still come out. And obviously when I was able to kind of repack, because I felt like going to Impact, I was able to redefine myself and do something completely different, right. And just kind of repackage. And I was able to go like, you know what, they're going to allow me to promote my music at the same time. I can do my own entrance music and I can be this character that is in alignment with who I am in real life and like really transition from that psycho character and that just girl next door babyface character, because her girl country was very much the same, still girl next door, but just a different, it was more like sweet tea instead of Kool-Aid. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know this. I had no clue about your Southern. They told you that at all.
Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised and a little disappointed. I'll be honest with you.
I don't think it would be a hindrance now. I just think that for the vision and like what they were looking, like I don't feel like a girl today would be held back. I would hope that it would be utilized and capitalized on, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the Southern accent. So I didn't even realize, but perhaps it was a lot thicker. And now that I don't speak with it, it just kind of comes out sometimes. Usually when I'm drunk or I'm hot, like I'm
just like, yo. No, I think it should be celebrated. That's crazy, but it's funny. We've never, even Lisa just said, we've never talked about it as long as I've known both of you. But I do remember thinking that. It just reminded me about the outfits that I was like, oh, she has a really Southern accent. But that makes sense that if I had seen you only in WWE, that maybe you were, even subconsciously, since you were told by whoever would tell you that, whoever had the audacity, the gall and the gumption to tell you that, you know, I'm shocked by that. Wow. We learned everything today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we're in Louisville, Kentucky at OVW.
I know, doesn't get much thicker than that.
Like Jim Cornette's an office, not even far away. The Southerner.
Yeah, he's a tad Southern, just a tad. It's a scotch.
Yes,
Just a little scotch.
I know we don't want to take up all of your time, and we're just so
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to have you here. But I know, like when you exited, you know, on your exit, you said be kind. That was like a really powerful.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, especially as we're in Pride Month, I think bullying and cyberbullying is such, we see it all the time, and like I'm sure it's affected yourself and friends around you and stuff. But how do you personally like use your I think you use your platform in such an amazing way to lift people up and kind of inspire them. So how do you deal with like bullying, or do you just ignore it and block it and just keep blessing them, or how do you? Sorry, I know it's a huge question. I'm just like.
Oh no, it's fine. Honestly, for me, what I do is I got a very tough skin because, you know, I went home first. So I knew all the jokes. That was the first thing. Like, you know exactly what I was going to say. It's the same 4 jokes. So just hear them and it won't hurt you anymore. And as far as everything goes, like I do comedy, but a big part about my comedy is that I don't punch down on anyone. And that's very, very important. Like if somebody's living a rougher life than me, I don't think that's funny. I should be able to find comedy somewhere else that I can make people laugh with. So that's just a big part of the way I conduct myself, is just don't punch down at people. Don't make fun of people that are lesser than you. And honestly, if there are just keep going at you, honey, that block and mute button is free.
My favorite.
I love it. I love it.
No, I don't even respond to them. I just hit block. They don't even see it coming.
Yeah. You know, you don't want to give them the satisfaction
Never
or
know.
the promotion, do you? If you kind of, I always say this, like if you keep acknowledging them, that's what they want. So don't give them that satisfaction. That's what they want.
Thirsty for it. Not like validation or just attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like people like that in your life, in your real life. So why would you want to like deal with it virtually? Someone you don't know.
And you know,
Absolutely.
we do our research, and we obviously we follow you anyway, but we did our research, and I was going through your timeline thinking you handle yourself so well, so professionally, and humor is always there, but it's never, like you said, punching people down. So kudos to how polished you are inside and outside.
A real queen.
A real queen.
Yes.
I want to cheers to that. We have a couple more questions. Let's cheers to that. Please like this video, subscribe to us and to Jaymes here on YouTube. Click that bell icon to enable notifications, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Cheers.
This is the word to go, y'all.